As you're going through this, keep in mind a couple of things. First of all, in Wisconsin, as in 47 other states, if you drive a car, you need insurance. It is the law. So, pure and simple, you need insurance. The second thing is, why do you need auto insurance? You need to protect your assets. In case you're sued, you're not going to lose everything that you have worked for. Your home, your boat, your jet ski, whatever. So, auto insurance is pretty important. Make sure, though, that you have enough, but you don't need to go overboard either. If you drive an old car, you probably don't need physical damage on it, collision comprehensive, but the main thing is you need liability. And again, states require that you carry liability. I think these are some sobering statistics. The thing about the typical driver will have a near auto accident 1 or 2 times a month. Now that's the typical driver. High school students are not typical. They're special. And they probably get in more accidents than older people. But just another reason why you need auto insurance. So the odds are not in your favor. However, most of you will never be in an accident, and that's great. A fair number of you have been in an accident already, so you've already been through that. But drive as carefully as you can. Let's try and change those statistics. For those of you who have been in an accident, you might have a sense of how expensive things are. But it's not just damage to your car, it's damage to other cars. A big one is medical bills. I mean, that could end up being thousands and thousands of dollars. I know I hit a deer a couple of years ago, and I had to have the hood and front fender replaced on my car, and that came out to about $3,000. Fortunately, I had insurance, paid for it. But all these other things, lost wages, pain and suffering, legal fees, fines, things like that. And these are things that at your age you don't need to worry about, or you shouldn't even have to think about, but down the road you will. Here's an interesting thought. You're in an accident and you do not have insurance. Who's going to pay for it? Do you have enough money in your bank account? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. You going to go to your parents? Are they going to pay for it? A rich uncle? Best friend? By far, the easiest is to have enough insurance, because that's what you're paying them for, and everything should work out quite well. As we covered earlier, insurance policy is simply a contract that you enter into with your insurance company, and as soon as you sign that contract, the insurance company promises to pay for certain accident-related losses. So, again, it's a contract. It's a piece of paper that's been signed. You sign it, the insurance company signs it, and they agree to pay for damages. It's that simple. To reiterate what I said earlier, a reason to have auto insurance, it's the law. And look at this list of risks. I mean, can you afford to pay for those? Probably not. This is the web address for part of your note-taking guide. You can always just stop this and copy it. But there is a link on your note-taking guide. You should be able to just click on that and go to this website and answer the questions. A good question to ask yourself is, am I a high risk, medium risk, or low risk to my auto insurance company? If I am a high risk, what can I do to lower the premium? What habits can I change, and those kinds of things. It's just something to think about. Back to this risk factor. It's interesting. A lot of people don't realize it, but some vehicles carry a greater risk than others. And you might want to think about that. You know, if you're looking to buy a vehicle and you're down to 2 or 3 that you like, maybe it might be a good idea to get a quote on each one of them and see if there's a difference in the premiums. That may sway you to buy one or the other. People don't think about this, but it is true. And what are some factors that determine your premium? You guys know it's, part of it's your age. You're young. Your gender. Everybody knows that high school boys pay more for car insurance than high school girls. Why is that? And back to the vehicle type. The premium's going to be a lot different between a 2000 Ford Focus or a 2013 Lexus. Things to think about. Your driving record. Do you speed? Have you gotten speeding tickets? Geographic location. It's not such a big problem around Stevens Point, but in the bigger cities, it certainly can come into play. Okay, we talked about deductibles earlier, and keep in mind, I said that there is an indirect relationship. What that means is the higher the deductible, the lower the premium. That's because you are assuming more of the risk. You're going to pay more out of your pocket. And that comes into that second A in ARAT right here. You're assuming more. And keep in mind that the T is for transfer. You are transferring the risk to your insurance company. When you're shopping for insurance, and not just auto insurance, any type of insurance, do shop around and don't go just by the price. Policies vary from company to company, and make sure that you are getting adequate coverage. That's the big thing. Make sure it's adequate. It's going to fit your needs. And most states require auto insurance. Make sure that you get more than the minimum. More than the minimum. Especially with liability. Because that can become so expensive. But do shop around. Most people don't know that an insurance policy has 5 basic parts. And I'm not going to go into details to what they are, but a couple I think are self-explanatory. Coverages, what's covered. Exclusions, what's not covered. Some of the conditions, you may want to take a look at that. Some night if you're home alone, bored, and need something to read, grab your policy and take a look at it. You might enjoy it. Now we talked about the R in ARAT, and again, that was how can you reduce your risk? All these things. Use your seatbelt. Don't speed. Know your own limits. Don't text and drive. Concentrate on your driving. Don't get road rage. That one's getting worse and worse. And grades help too. If you get a B, if your grade average is B or higher, you can usually get a bit of a break on your auto insurance. Again, a quick review. When you're selecting coverage, get more than the minimums. Those are really pretty low. And again, shop around. And again, when you get older, if you have to buy homeowners insurance too. If you consolidate, buy your homeowners and auto insurance from the same company, many times they'll kind of help you out and give you a little bit of a break with that. Probably the most useful website that I have found is III.org. III.org. And it is phenomenal. If you have any questions about insurance, you probably will find it there. The other good thing is it is continually updated. It's got real recent information, or some of the most recent information about insurance. So if you need to know anything, just go there.